If you wanted 6 simple words to define the rest of your life, here it is: dream it, plan it, and do it. Solomon, the great Old Testament source of wisdom, wrote in Proverbs 29, verse 18, as recorded in the Message, "If people can't see what God is doing, they stumble all over themselves. But when they attend to what He reveals, they are most blessed." Very often, we get up and go about our day and string 5 of those days together, they become a week. 52 of those become a year. And for a lot of people, just showing up and going through the motions defines the bulk of their lives. When you start with a vision, when you can declare your dream, when you can come up with a plan that points you toward that experience achieved, and then when you can orchestrate your daily activities toward that end, life takes on a completely different tone. God intended that that would be a part of our lives if He was living in us. When Peter was explaining the breakthrough that the people were seeing in the temple when on the day of Pentecost, the Holy Spirit came and put life into people that they had never had before, he described it, quoting the Old Testament prophet Joel, when he said this: "I will pour out my Spirit on all people. Your young men will see visions, your old men will dream dreams." You see, God had foretold what was going on in the temple that day. That when the Holy Spirit arrives and takes up residence in the middle of a person, whether you're young or whether you're old, dreams and visions will become part of your daily life experience. How big can you dream? How much is God willing to see us swing for the fences? When Paul writes about that in Ephesians chapter 3, he says it this way: "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we can ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." You see, you can't outdream God. Your aspirations could get you into trouble if you're heading a direction that God doesn't want you to go. But when your aspiration meets inspiration, when your dreams are found within the framework of God's dreams, there's a power that's unleashed that you can't call back. A potential is now in play that can make the impossible expected. And when you do that, God unleashes what is immeasurably more than all we can ask or imagine. How great is that? You know, someone has said, don't let someone who gave up on their dreams talk you out of yours. And we live in a space where too many people, too often, have declared dreams off limits. They're put off by people who are aspiring to go beyond their experience. They want their standard to become the standard that everyone else lives by. And when you begin to define and pursue your dreams, you're going to find yourself at odds with some people who are more likely to be comfortable with the status quo than imagining what's possible in the big picture of their future. I want to give you a tool today, and we're going to be working through in the next couple of weeks an understanding of how to use this tool in every category of your life, but it's called Dream Master. And it's going to invite you to begin dreaming outside the box. And no matter where you find yourself in terms of the seasons of life, whether you're early or midlife or even through the early stages and into the senior experience in your career life, whether your family life is still you by yourself or whether you're now married, whether you're in a relationship that has generated a family of multiple generations around you, the opportunity to integrate dreams into a family experience is yours as well. And in the context of your life outside the limits of your career, outside the confines of your family, there's room for desires, for things that are rooted in your own heart, that have just an unexperienced possibility connected to them. What are the desires that drive you forward? And finally, we're going to think in terms of dreams with regard to your life in the kingdom. The eternal part of you that is partnering with God in ways that you can only begin to imagine. 5 categories of dreams that we're going to look at, and a 5-step process that's going to unpack in front of us.